Benjamin Franklin said that whoever would overthrow the liberty of a nation must begin by subduing the freeness of speech. The United States of America is under attack. How is it under attack? It is not under attack by some foreign terrorist groups that are seeking to bomb us. It is under attack by the very people whom the Constitution was meant to restrain, our leaders, our elected government officials. People like this man. Listen to him.
Accountable without, violating their free speech.
Sure. And again, I would remind you that there's no First Amendment right to conduct. There's a First Amendment right to speech, and the things that we're targeting in the bill are not speech. Again, if someone wants to stand across the street from my house and wave a sign on the sidewalk, they have every right to do that, and this bill won't have anything to do with that. But when it veers into conduct, and so the way we're going to approach this is through a hate crime kicker. So if you graffiti a building, it is a crime now. But if your motivation is hate, it will be a third-degree felony. You will spend 5 years in prison. If you want to litter, it's a crime right now. But if you litter and your motivation is a hate crime, it will be a third-degree felony. You will spend 5 years in jail. It is a crime right now to hang banners from an interstate. For obvious reasons, we don't want to distract drivers. But if you do that and you have a hate crime, a hate motivation, it will be a third-degree felony. You will spend 5 years in jail.
How optimistic are you of moving this bill along?
I guarantee the bill will pass. And I never do that.
So he says that if you do any of these things considered trivial otherwise under the law, but your quote-unquote motivation is hate, then you are going to go to prison for 5 years. But who decides what your motivation is? Well, he does. And that is the issue. If you can't see this trap, if you cannot see that this is a domestic enemy, then you are going to be deserving of what is to come. Who decides what hate is? Well, that depends. Is Biden in power? Or is Trump in power? Or whoever is coming after them, whatever they define as hate. This guy, you would think that he is Jesus reincarnated because he does not want hate speech anywhere, right? But look at his speech. He just doesn't want you to criticize a foreign nation. He doesn't want you criticizing Israel. That is his motivation. And he is trying to sneak that in under quote-unquote hate speech laws. But look at him. Look at his speech. So he should throw himself into prison first. If you are an American, you have to realize that when they restrict your speech in any kind of way for any kind of reason, they are attacking the Constitution of the United States of America, and they are your enemy. Read George Washington's farewell address where he talks about foreign influence, and he warns us about people like this. This man's motivation is preventing criticism of a foreign nation so they can continue to have undue influence on our government, so our government can continue to send them weapons and provide them political support and send them money and finance their healthcare and finance their wars and finance their education, all the while we are denied all of that at home. That is how we are under attack. We are under attack by essentially domestic enemies who are attacking our constitutional right to free speech by trying to sneak in laws like this, who they present as noble, but the trap is clear. And if you don't see this as an American, then we have already lost our liberties. Wake up.